Hi everyone, and welcome to the second part of our rotations video. So in this video, we'll be looking at how we can find the center of the rotation when given the object and the image in your rotation. So if you guys remember, this was the example that we did in the previous video, okay? And I showed you how to actually rotate the object onto its image about the center, which was O in this example. So I have actually redrawn the two shapes, okay? So in a question, they are going to give you these two objects, and the object and the image, and they are going to ask you to find the center of the rotation. And it's very easy. It's similar to the other transformations, how we find their centers, but with just one additional step, okay? So the first thing that we need to do is to connect some points, and we have been doing this for a lot of the transformations as well. So let us take, for example, the points B and B prime. Okay, so this is our new image here. These are our primes, so this is the image and that is the object. So I'm going to connect B to B prime. That is over here and here, and I'm going to do it in a dotted line, right, because we are not finished. Well, a dashed line really. So I have connected B to B prime. The next step is something from the topic of construction. We have to find the perpendicular bisector of the line, which means we need to be able to cut the line in half with a line that is perpendicular to it. So the line needs to go this way. So let me show you how to do that on a regular line. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a line here on this blank sheet of paper. Okay, there we have it. That is our line. Okay, so I want to draw a perpendicular bisector, so the line needs to be in this direction going up there, right, like in that direction. So I'm going to need my compass. So I take the pointy end of the compass and put it on one end of the line, okay, and I extend my compass to somewhere beyond the halfway mark of the line. So if I estimate that this is the halfway point of the line, I'm going to extend it a little bit outward. It doesn't need to be all the way to the end, okay, that's like 3/4 of the way. And I'm going to draw a huge semicircle going around like this. Right? It's very important to keep the same distance on your compass. So don't close in your compass when you're finished, because you have to do the same thing from the opposite end. So I put my point on this end of the line here, and I do the same thing. I draw a huge semicircle going around. Now, if you notice, there are 2 points where the semicircles meet. All I need to do is take my ruler and my pencil and connect these 2 points together like so. And this is actually a right angle. Okay, so the line that I just drew is perpendicular to my original line. Okay, and it also cuts it exactly in half. Even if you try to measure it with a protractor, you will see that it is exactly 90 degrees. Okay, exactly. And I did not use a protractor whatsoever. So that is how we construct a perpendicular bisector. And that is what is needed to find the center of the rotation of your image. So let's go back to this question. Here we have the original line, B to B prime, and in the same fashion, I am going to find the perpendicular bisector of that line. So I take my compass again, I put one end, the pointy end on one end of the line, and I extend it to somewhere about more than half, like 3/4 of the line. I draw a huge semicircle going around like so. I do the opposite on the other end, so put the point on B prime, and I draw another semicircle going around. Ooh, I made an error there, sorry. So it's very important that you keep your compass tight, okay? So I just have to size it back here. Alright, I don't know why that happened, but it happens sometimes, right? Okay, so that is my original point. So ignore this part here, right? Okay, so I have my 2 points and I am going to draw a line through the both of them like this. That should work there. So I'm going to draw a large line, and that is my perpendicular bisector of B to B prime. You can clearly see that it goes straight through it. The next step is to choose one more point. So I am going to connect A to A prime. Okay, so we only need to choose 2 out of the 3 points in our shape. So I do the same thing. I draw a dotted line connecting A and A prime. And now I'm going to use my trusty, well, not so trusty anymore since you let me down, but I'm going to put 1 point on A and extend it about 3/4 of the way. And I'm going to draw a large semicircle like this. I'm going to do the same thing here. So it can be a little bit confusing sometimes which semicircles, so you need to look carefully, okay? So always remember. So this is 1 point here, and this is another point here. So I'm going to connect them, and it just so happens that the line goes straight through the axis, okay? So the 2 points that I have used, A and A prime, B and B prime, where the perpendicular bisectors intersect. So remember, this was the first perpendicular bisector and the other one was actually on the axis. So where do they meet? Right over here. So where they meet is my center of rotation, and you can clearly see that that is the exact center of rotation we used to actually rotate to get this, okay? So we worked backwards and we got back the center of rotation. And that is really all there is to rotations. Thank you very much.